So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So I'm coming to you to discuss something very sad, at least to me, because we got this New Year tease from One Piece Treasure Cruise Twitter account that says, Nakama, can you guess who are the next Sugo characters coming to Treasure Cruise? And then there's a big wheel. And usually when we get the hints like this, somewhere in the hint, we can find the actual character or characters that are coming. So I'm sure there are a lot of you, including me, who's thinking like, oh, please just be a bait and switch and we get something entirely different. For example, I've been wanting Cross Guild. There's nothing even close to Cross Guild here, but I guess there's a buggy Shanks hiding there, but I don't think that really matters. I guess they could pick that and say like, hey, we have a new buggy and it's Cross Guild, but I doubt it. So, yeah, it looks like the reality is that we're getting something like WANO, which I've said personally is very disappointing. There's actually some few nuggets of non-WANO. There's like Duval and stuff, but I don't really think that's very realistic either. But yeah, the way they made this is that the left is basically entirely WANO. We were able to land on Odin and Roger, which honestly, with everything else present in this wheel, is probably the most exciting to me, it's sad to say. But the left is basically only OG WANO characters. The middle is WANO, but it can have some Straw Hats too. It has like the Samurais, it has Ace. So it's a bit more random, while the right is basically only Straw Hats and some Straw Hat supporters like Duval. The most random one is that Sorry imposter we have in the picture now. So yeah, it's hard to make any sense out of this. So I will say right away that, well, I have one prediction I can make from this, but we'll get to that in the end, or if it shows up. But yeah, one thing to think about here is like, how is the idea here? Like we have 3 columns. Does it mean we will get one from each column? Or is it like a red structure where we get the two legends from the first column, then 2 legends from the second column, and so on. Feels like a stretch as well, so I don't really think that. Or is it that we only get one single combo out of this? Or is it just one character from one of these combos? Like, we don't really know. So usually when I get these hints, we can say with pretty good certainty what will be the actual Sugo Fest we get. But this time, well, like the image is limited to WANO, which in itself is a major disappointment for me and many others. But other than that, doesn't really say that much. Since like there's so many 2s and 3s. And of course, back in the day for New Year, when we started to get Super Sugos, there were 2 Super Sugos we got. Like first it was Roger and Odin, then it was Roger Whitebeard and the Luffy crew. But then next year, New Year, they changed it to 3 and we got Kaido versus Yamato, Nami and Robin. So you can't really rule out it just being 2 legends. You also can't rule it out being 3. And then the logical way to assume is that it will be 1 from each box. But as I said, we don't even know if they plan to do that. It might be just one single character hidden here that they are teasing. We don't know. We also have the fact, of course, that it could be red structure, which is its own can of worms. So I would say personally that the only thing this hint did was kill any hype for the New Year's Sugo Fest. So I think that's pretty opposite of what you want from marketing. It should do excitement. I don't know how they feel like, okay, guys, I know we've had WANO for a lot of years now. I know we're heading into a new arc and we know there's been a lot of stuff happening before the new arc that could be really cool, very cool. But we're going to go out with a bang. We're going to do a WANO Sugo Fest. And not only are we doing a WANO Sugo Fest, but we're also not doing the most interesting units from WANO when it ended, because we used those in a filler Sugo Fest just before. So It's not going to be a Super Sugo Green Bull or a Super Sugo Adult Mom or such. It's going to be the, like, bottom of the pile legends that we haven't been able to do yet. So maybe a new final Kaido, final Big Mom, and maybe Luffy versus Kaido, who knows? Well, I'm messing around a bit, but that's how it feels like to me. I will personally say that, like, if it's going to be like a WANO Super Sugo here, I said it before, I have zero hype for that. So there is a chance that I won't pull as much as I planned, or maybe nothing at all. Like, if it is WANO New Year for me, it will depend on what the units actually do. And the trend recently has been that Super Sugos mostly focus on Super Boss. And I personally don't really care about Super Boss. Like, at least not the one in January. I won't really play it that much at all. So it's like, why even pull? But, like, of course, there are some exceptions. Like, if we take the Gear 5 celebration, like Gear 5 for me was a no-brainer. If we got something like Gear 5, I will pull. Kid Law was very unique in their own right. So I'd pull something like that are super unique as well. And Big Mom was exceptionally strong versus Super Boss and potentially other content as well. Ignoring full immunity and letting you get one more conditional like Robin. So those three, if we get something like that, like, I'm on board. I might not be hyped by the concept of the unit, but I will be hyped by the actual kit they have. But then, of course, we have something like the Kaido Witch Eyes kit, which was, well, I thought he was purely a Super Boss unit, but he's turned out to be really good in stuff like Treasure Map too. So, as I said before, kind of small regret skipping him. Would like to get him now. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they actually do. But I've given up hope of New Year being something I'm excited for. Now the actual kits will have to carry. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see for that. To end this video, we can do my only prediction. Let's see if we can get them. Because there is one really weird thing in this ping that is so... There we go, in the middle there. Like, I can't see it being a coincidence that they put two Yamato in one picture. One with the normal shape and one in Zoan form. Or I guess it's not Zoan form, it's like... yeah, half Zoan, half human. But if, to me, like, you don't put two Yamato by mistake in one picture. So I will predict that one of the New Year units, it feels very sad to predict this, but I predict a duo unit Yamato, where Yamato can swap into the Zoan form. Maybe Yamato will have the EX, and if you use the EX, you will change into the actual Zoan form. So you can have 3 different forms in one unit. That will actually be the most interesting you could do for a final Yamato Super Sugo Fest unit. And since none of the other pictures make any sense at all, I'm going with the only one that makes some semblance of sense. And honestly, we've only had one duo unit with EX so far in Kid and Law, and they did that unit horribly from a duo perspective. So if they do that take again and do it better, and yeah, just make it a good unit. Kid Law is good, but they are just a bit too much piece of work, I'd say. So that could be exciting, which will be impressive for a Yamato unit, but yeah. That's the only prediction I'll do here. Now I'll wait for the official news or data mine. So yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.